is up, hot makers? Welcome to Hot Makes right here on Hot Makes. I'm Nerdy J. This is Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
I like being on that side better.
That works.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God. Oh.
Guys, I'm like really hyper because I just chugged a Mountain Dew, so I'm sorry in advance. And my cat had milk from a Lucky Charms bowl of cereal, so like we're going good over here.
This is a lucky cat right there. This is a lucky cat. Lucky Charms milk. Everybody comment real quick before we go any further if you've ever given your cat Lucky Charms milk, because I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
She's clearly alive.
I love it.
I prefer to give my cat Lucky Charms water.
That's, Lucky Charms water is less calories. Just want to throw it out there. Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. We have an awesome show for you tonight. We have a guest that is he has some really cool stuff for us to check out. I'm super pumped. Shannon needs a nickname.
My nickname is Spock.
Spock? How about...
I'm not kidding you. My mother is Captain Kirk in my phone.
Interesting. How about Shannon Charms after today's...
Oh my God.
No.
Off the window. Clearly my cat's like psychotic now.
Oh man. Next up we have Shannon Charm. No, anyways. So
do we have a raid on Twitch?
Oh, sweet. Looks like Jerry from 3D printing and painting just shed raid. Out. So welcome everybody from the raid, and welcome to Hot Makes. We got an awesome show for you tonight. Before we go any further, all the cool stuff you see in the show tonight will be in a link in the description below. Check it out. How you get your cool stuff seen, #HotMakes on the Twitters. All you have to do is post anything or comment on somebody else's post, or I don't know, find something cool and just tag #HotMakes as you see below. Also, if you enjoy the show, consider donating to our Oreo and Lucky Charms fund. We really appreciate that. And Andrew, one of the Council of Andrews, has already donated $10 and saying enjoying the show from the road. So be careful on the road if you're driving, but thank you for tuning in. We appreciate that.
Nice.
That's the Council of Andrews. That's a secret society that's pretty loaded.
Yeah.
Where are y'all getting your money from?
I don't know, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Council of Andrews. And Andrew, thank you for that. What else we got going, Shannon?
Oh my God, I don't even know right now. But clearly we're on Twitch because I'm trying to bring up all of your guys' comments. I'm shouting you out on my personal page because unfortunately I'm still not logged into the one I want to be logged into, and I'm sorry for that. Wait.
Crap.
Wait a minute. What did we just happen here?
That's awesome.
Crazy. Then did you just raid with 40 viewers?
Heck yeah. That is awesome.
You are outstanding.
Raid.
Thank you. So
not just for bugs anymore. I like it. That's a good comment.
So yeah, we're obviously on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, all the fun stuff that we're always streaming on. We're still kind of trying to get to 1,000 subs on our main channel by 100 episodes, but very clearly we're at 95 today, I think, and
5 more.
We might be a little bit behind on that. I think we said we're at 664 right now, but if you guys go check out the main channel and sub, we'll just try to get it as close as we can.
Link in the description, or you could find, what is it, hotmakes.com, I believe, something like that. I think that's what we did. Gary
from Nightbot.
What was that?
Nightbot's also thrown a link out.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, Gary. We have a really cool show. We have an awesome guest tonight. I'm really pumped about that. And before we get to him, what did you do? It's been a week. What did you do? Did you build a bow? Did you go to California? Did you do anything cool in the last week?
Okay, because I've already said it on my streams too. Well, I educated, according to Karen, way back there. I'm not even gonna go try to find that comment, but we got educated on where cats can sit on tables, right? Okay. Yeah. If y'all were in our live stream, we were live till like 4 a.m. on Saturday, and it got weird. Anyhow, I think I have a new job. That's a thing. I haven't made anything though.
Nice.
Like, So I'm
congratulations
sad.
on that. I mean, that's cool.
I'm sad, but I will be going to California again very soon.
Sweet.
Fun
Well,
fact. But
yeah.
what did you do? Did you do anything?
I have just been working on this space. As you can see behind me, it looks like a mess currently because I'm just working on stuff, trying to get it ready. I did my very first live stream here on Saturday night. We checked out the Afuro Laser 2, which was a lot of fun. We didn't even burn the building down yet. I should knock on wood when I say that. But there we go. But we had a great stream, a lot of fun. And if you stuck around till the end, I gave you the nickel tour. Just a really quick walkthrough of what's going on. And then as I was shutting my phone off of StreamYard, I stopped the stream right like abruptly. So I thought I was disconnecting my phone and it just shut the whole stream down. So that was fun. Like I said, it was the end anyway. So that there you go. Real quick, it looks like, yeah, and I just want to make sure we didn't have any new ones. So, Andrew, thank you so much. Also, Michael Grugel, fix him, dude. Love watching Jim and Shannon. Look forward to the show every week. Thank you so much.
So nice.
Thank you so much. $10. We definitely appreciate that. And we will add it to the Lucky Charms fund because clearly that cat needs more Lucky Charms milk. Maybe we should go to Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles milk.
No.
What? No?
The only sugary cereal that I will eat are like Lucky Charms or like Reese's Puffs. But like, and I very rarely do it, but I just decided that I wanted it and just went with it. Anyway,
that's okay.
Shall we bring in our person now?
Yeah. So who we got today?
So you guys probably know him as sinisterpropz. On Instagram, Etsy, website as well. His name is Chris, and we're gonna bring him on in here. And he's a prop maker, cosplay, like just fun stuff. Like there's so much fun stuff that he has just sitting next to him right now that he's gonna talk about. So yeah, shall we say hi to Chris?
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Chris from Sinisterpropz. How you doing?
What's up? Thanks for having me today.
Hey, welcome to HotMakes.
Of course. Yeah, so do you want to go ahead and just start off and just tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, where you are online, and all that fun stuff?
Sure, no problem. So, yeah, I'm Sinisterpropz. I've been making props for, a good 5 or 6 years now, kind of as the business. I've always been a tinkerer. I've always liked to build Lego sets. I was the kind of kid who took stuff apart and then tried to put it back together. And, 9 times out of 10 growing up, that meant I broke my toy, but it was always a learning experience. So, but yeah, as I got, more and more into making stuff, I felt really hard into 3D printing. And I tried to incorporate a lot of 3D printed parts into various other types of prop making. Because, you can 3D print an entire suit of armor, or you can 3D print a prop. But sometimes using 3D printing as accenting has always been a very big passion of mine. I also did some work with foam at Buster Sword. Oh, this way. At Buster Sword back there is foam.
Nice.
I use, I use foam. I guess I use, just as everybody else does, a multitude of things in all of my builds. But one of the major things that I do, which is really where I started into props, was I build custom lightsabers. Primarily, I'm an installer. So what happens with that is essentially somebody has a lightsaber that they want installed. There's tons of companies out there that make absolutely fantastic replicas. And, without the install, it's just a paperweight, really. And so the install really makes it come to life. The technology that's running through the custom lightsaber world right now it blow your mind. I mean, it's insane what's going on. Since I started doing it, the last 2 or 3 years alone, it's really mind blowing. What happens when a bunch of nerds get together and really put their brains together. So I've been doing a lot of lightsaber installs. I could say pretty comfortably at this point installed probably around 300 or 400 lightsabers. I've made a couple for myself. I try to keep it a little on the minimal side, or else it would take over my whole room.
I feel that. That's 100% my apartment right now. It's just stuff everywhere that I've built.
Just stuff everywhere.
Right.
But yeah, the lightsabers are a fascinating piece because you really do bring in the 3D printing world into, let's say, someone who, I mean, I've made hilts from scratch.
Sure.
I've used, which is, I'll show you guys in a little bit. I've used vintage things to make lightsabers.
Nice.
But the chassis on lightsabers are 3D printed, which means either someone out there makes a 3D printed hilt for it, or I have to design it. I have someone in house who does 3D printing chassis designs, and you know they're really kind of they're very unique to each situation. So yeah, for sure. I mean that's pretty much what I do. A little bit of everything, a jack of all trades.
It really is everything. I love it.
That's awesome.
I'm very limited in like what I do because I think I'm typecast at this point to like specific armor. But that's like a whole range of things, and I know the lightsabers definitely appeal to several people in our usual viewers.
Yeah, there's a lot of great comments going on. My favorite one, nerds.
Yeah.
Working with lightsabers. Are they working lightsabers? That's what Pugwash asked you.
Yes. So I do full NeoPixel installs. If you mean by working lightsabers, can I like cut a tree down? No, but
it's not real.
No. But they're essentially got a soundboard associated with them and custom sound fonts. In some cases, you know, they get very elaborate with crystal chambers and you know, pretty much everything all the way up until doing my own taxes for me. Yeah, I mean, they get pretty incredible. I mean, I got one here that
Nice.
talks to my phone. But yeah, it uses NeoPixel technology. The blades go right in the socket. I could show you guys that a little bit. Cool. The blades go in the socket, and they're gyroscopic, responsive. It makes it feel like you're holding the real thing. It's pretty incredible.
Well, I mean, you say you work with lightsabers, but I see what Star-Lord behind you.
Yeah,
Halo. Of course, you got the Grogu. If my son was watching, he'd be freaking out because he loves Grogu. He's not even 2, and one of the very few names he actually says is Grogu right now.
Wow.
But yeah,
but
he has
impact of Disney.
Oh, he has the little Grogu that like makes noise and all that stuff. And if you have one of those, lay it on its back. Most people don't know that if you lay the animatronic Grogu on his back, he goes to sleep, closes his eyes, and even like snores. It is like my wife saw something and she's like, wait a minute. So she tipped it over and she's like, holy moly. We would have never even known that.
That Disney magic right there.
Right. But I got to love the Star-Lord mask. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a full Star-Lord costume. I would say that Star-Lord was one of the first attempts I made to assemble a full, like, real costume with props that I made and everything. Yeah, this is actually a recent addition, the helmet. I remade it. I used magnetic attachment. Let me see if I can turn it on. I use magnetic attachment, so when I take it off, I can walk around at a con with this all open, and then it uses magnets, and it will turn itself back on when I snap it in place. And that area that you saw when the mask is off, I don't have the remote with me, but there's electronics in there.
Nice.
And it'll glow blue. When I take this off, it'll glow blue. So it's like, you know, when it materializes around in space.
Sure.
But
that's awesome.
That's a pretty form-fitting helmet. How do you get it on and off?
Yeah. So it's made to only fit me. Yeah, it only fits me. And so the way that I did it was there's actually like little door latches in the back here.
Oh, yeah.
And so what happens is you do this, and it's on a pivot, and it just opens just enough to get my head in there. I would put it on, but it would take my headphones off right now. And then you put it in there, and you lock it in, and it just kind of fits to my head. But it's really only meant to fit me.
Right.
And then my next costume, which is being constructed right now, is is Halo. I'm a huge Halo fan. I'm a huge fan of this upcoming show. And so
apparently a trailer came out earlier, is what I've learned while we were prepping for this.
Yeah, I'm excited
That's
to see
perfectly timed.
I would love to show it, but we don't want to get dinged across all of our channels.
Yeah.
That DMCA magic.
Yeah.
But
You've been
I do a lot
talking
of
over
3D
it, but
printing for sure.
Nice, that's awesome. What so I gotta follow that up because we have a very heavy 3D printing following here on HotMakes. What printers do you use?
Sitting next to me, I have an Ender 5 Plus on loan.
Nice.
From my production partner. My production partner has a lot of 3D printers. I have, oh man, this thing is a dinosaur. A Hatchbox Alpha. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that.
that's what probably got to be.
It's 7 years old.
How many years? 7 or 8 years old.
It's 7. Yeah. I call her Old Faithful because she won't die. She will not die.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you actively trying to kill that printer?
Funny enough, she's down right now.
There you go.
It must be us because listen, my Ender's down too, and it's been a chain effect through the community this week. Like everyone's down right now.
Oh man,
bad printer.
I'm not plugging mine in. I just moved over here. I'm not plugging it in. Or any of them.
Yeah, it was just a couple of fans went out. I don't know. It might have been a surge or something, but a couple of the fans blew up. So I'm just waiting for the Amazon guy.
Nice.
And then I have 2 Ender 3s, which are workhorses, just for printing stuff on my shop. And then I have an Anycubic Photon Mono X for resin.
Okay, sure.
My production partner has a couple of Ender 3s. I mean, this is all part of sinisterpropz. I would say between the two of us, there's 10 printers.
Nice. Well, you got to, I mean, if you guys are doing so much, it's awesome to have a variety. I mean, I love the 5 Plus was one of my favorite printers. I miss it. I bad trade on my deal or my part, but I miss that thing every day. I actually found I'm moving over here to a new studio, and I found one of my old build surfaces for it, and I was just like, oh, I miss this,
No.
But I might have to hit up Creality and get another one coming because I miss that thing so much. But I mean, it sounds like you got some sweet printers. Everyone in the chat is talking about that too. Someone Hybrid Robotics says, I have an Ender 5 Plus that's greatly modified with more coming. And there are so many really cool modifications for all these printers. But Kersey Fabrications, Chris over there at Kersey Fabrications, like king of the Ender 5 Plus, does everything to those things. And he's a very good dude. So so I'm curious, like you take a kit, you get a lightsaber kit. Someone says, I bought this kit.
Yes.
Can you put it together for me? Essentially.
Yep. Can you make it? Can you make it light up? Can you make it go whoosh?
Yeah. Do you have one or a completed one in front of you, like someone that you could show us? Like where do these kits come from? Like random places? Because I've seen a lot of prop makers that they have like pre-sale kits and stuff for parts. But is it a specific site you recommend to people?
Yeah. So there's a couple of websites. If you want to get into this, there's a couple of websites. KR Sabers sells great empty kits. Cordant sells good empty kits. 89 Sabers. You can get empties from Saber Forge. And you can get installed lightsabers from some of these places. The reason that you may or may not is that, well, some of the places only sell them empty.
Got it.
But the reason you may or may not is some installs by some of the higher level or some of the regular sabersmithing companies that you'll find, they might install, they might have a fixed type of installation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, KR Sabers right there. And you might want more out of your lightsaber, and that's when a custom installer comes into play. Let me see. I've actually got that. You just scrolled past it. These, I can show you kind of what an empty sort of looks like. Taking the box off. But
well, even if you have one that's not empty, right? There you go.
These things are gorgeous. This is a KR Sabers Ashoka Tano. They call it, it's called the Thrawn Hunter. They can't use the Disney. They can't use the Disney words, or else
Yeah.
So
they still use the Disney word in that title.
Yep. the mouse will come and get you. So they've got, these are empties. I've installed, man, this would be set number 4. They're very popular from KR Sabers right now. I think they're sold out. So sorry if I just hated everybody.
I'll tell you in a second. I just closed that tab, but I'm curious now. I've ordered some stuff from another company, and they always send me like pre-orders and all sorts of stuff for all these different ones that they're doing. And I'm always intrigued, but I never jumped on that. But they actually call it by name on here, which surprises me.
On KR Sabers?
Yeah, here, let's see. Right there, right?
Are we outing them? What's it called?
Yeah, with the 104 people watching right now, you are busted. No, let's see. Let's hit the store. Let's see what they got. I'm curious.
Well, they might use it in the description. They might use it in the description. But I know that officially their title they can't.
Yeah. Thrawn. Yeah,
it's
got
called
it right
Thrawn
here.
Hunters. Yeah, and
Thrawn Hunters.
They call it the Scavenger, the Ray Scavenger. There's always just funky names for everything. You'll see it around the community because Disney keeps a tight grip on their words.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff. $108 for this kit. This is an empty.
Yep.
Empty. Oh, here's special plated. $143. That looks sick, by the way. Or $92 if you just wanted some aluminum. That's super cool.
And that's that's a blank template. A lot of people do a lot of like laser etcher engravings or acid etches on stuff like that, and they can make them look insane. Yeah.
So can you get a kit? I don't know if you can from these guys, right? But that just comes with a prop kit. There we go. No, maybe not.
Nope.
I was thinking like the whole kit together, right? It maybe not come put together, but you get everything.
So yeah, that's the tough part, right? So the tough part, you might think that we would get there, but as you know, in the prop making world, especially when you're dealing with Star Wars, right? Star Wars props are the most meticulously accurate pieces. That, for instance, I like to compare it to Marvel. Marvel, as long as you look like the superhero, the fans really don't care. Right? If you're like, yeah, you're, Star-Lord, and it looks good, that's fine. But no Marvel fan's going to be like, oh, you don't have the appropriate screw on your helmet. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so these lightsabers that you're seeing on those some of these shops are insane as to how accurate they are, and it makes it very hard to make one thing that fits everything. It makes it really, really hard. Button placement, battery placement, ease of access, speakers, you name it.
But wouldn't they come up with a kit for each like hilt? I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
And there's companies like Pack Store who does like one size fits all hilts if you're just happy with it being that way. But for the most part, and I guess that's the difference, right? You could go to a store and buy this stuff and switch it in and out. I guess the customers that I'm dealing with are on the very high end. These guys want the exact replica, in their office, or these guys want exact replica stuff.
Nice.
So I mean, I can show you one of my hilts. I can show you
let's check it out.
A couple of the stuff. Before I get directly into this, one of the things that I do, or one of the things that I've done going into the Star Wars community is, Star Wars is built out of junk. One of the most appealing parts of Star Wars, and what they've done with the Mandalorian, is everything's kind of built out of like, stuff that you might see in like an antique store or a junkyard, or a lot of stuff is World War II Army surplus things.
Nice.
Is this going into your vintage supplies? Because I want to talk about that. I want to make sure we get you on that. So
it is, and I was just going to use that to show you my saber, because at the end of the day, the sabers are all the what's inside of them kind of they're all the same, but it's how it's presented in certain ways. And so going into the vintage stuff is, that you can, if you have, if you're inclined to and have some extra money to spend, or should I say, throw into the wind, get parts, get parts that were in Star Wars, not like screen used, but you can find these things. And it takes a lot of research to assemble some of these items. But these, they're out there. They're doable. It might, it might be something that you keep secret from your significant other because it means you don't get that new car. For instance, I saw an Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber go during the pandemic. A full vintage Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber go for $14,000.
Woo.
Yeah.
They should have held on to it until like now.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
Dropping. Oh.
I know. Although the particular Star Wars fans would go, well, his lightsaber's the one from Revenge of the Sith. So they'd be like, whatever. But anyway, I'll show you this. So this is my Graflex. I know it just looks like a saber that everyone's probably seen before because it is, but it's vintage. So that means that the saber was made out of the same exact metal. This is the same exact thing that it was made out of in the movie in 1977. Oh wow! So the Graflex, they call it the Graflex because, as you can see here, it says Graflex, and what it is it's a camera flash from a Graf, and it comes out of New York. They were very popular. This was one of the more popular camera flashes starting in the 1920s. This thing is old.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah. And, George Lucas came to the team and said, I need a bunch of things that are whatever that look like this. And this is one of those pieces. And all they did was they added grips from a cabinet. It's weird. Okay. They put a D-ring on the bottom of it. I have holes drilled in this, but this is actually a replica bottom because I didn't want to put holes in the vintage thing. So I have one that doesn't have holes, but it's vintage. I put a D-ring on it, and then they put a bubble strip in there, which is actually from this. It's a calculator.
Oh,
wow. Nice.
And so that bubble strip is in here, which is where you would display the numbers.
Right, where the numbers would come through. That is super cool. Yep.
And so you'd have to harvest that part and put it in there, but that's what Graflex is. And so from the outside it looks like the prop, but this is where someone like me comes in, right? I say I want to do some fancy stuff to it, and so what I do is I take the insides apart and I give it some interesting. Let me kill these lights so that you can see that better.
Nice. It's got the crystal in there.
So it's got a crystal chamber in it. It turns when it turns on, it pulses and does all that cool stuff. This little indicator back there. This is all acid etched. This little indicator right here that you see is that's the Bluetooth. It's just telling you that Bluetooth is not connected. But this bottom piece comes all the way off. Yeah, nice. Like I said, it does everything. It does everything except for my taxes, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, I'm fascinated by this. This is crazy.
And so this is all handmade. I bent all this metal. I forged all this. And then really quick, I can show you guys. And so you can see here, that's where the blade goes in. And I'll do that really quick.
I just want to say that Chris Perillo is missing out right now.
What the heck?
So, right
there you go.
And they have all sorts of effects,
Nice.
And they're really loud.
That's
if
crazy.
I put that bottom back on, but yeah. So the blades just pop right in there. They're light up.
What's the blade made out of?
It's a polycarbonate tube.
Okay.
And it's
pretty strong.
Yeah, I like to say, depending on the lightsaber, if you do like in hilt, you could do some serious beating with it. You really could. You really could.
Is that competition grade?
This one is a KR strip. I don't know if it's competition grade, but I won't be dueling with my Graflex anyway because it's worth more than my car. So
yeah.
Oh, Britt, you missed the fun.
So anyway, yeah, there are, but what the robot said was there are competition grade lightsabers where you can. I'm sure you've probably seen videos of people dueling and whatnot,
Right?
And you can do that stuff, and it's pretty incredible what they're capable of doing. And I build competition grade lightsabers, which means I build ones that have rock solid chassis that are ready to be dueled with. But ones like these are not. They're meant to be shown off.
That's crazy.
That's your brag piece, is what that is. That's
yeah.
That's your Ferrari. You drive your Pinto. You brag about your Ferrari. That's
exactly. I can show you guys what the brains look like in here. Yeah, that's the soundboard right there. All these wiring, all this stuff. There's the battery.
That's insane.
Nice.
And all of this stuff is, I made all this I just cut it with a Dremel.
Nice.
Okay, I'm like ashamed of rescue now.
You don't ever be ashamed of an awesome project you did, because
this
always
is outstanding.
There is always going to be something that you find that you're like, wow, that is amazing. But
you
got to look
this
back.
Blows me away. Yeah.
It is. No, that is super cool. So, I mean, you play with I say play with pretty lightly. You play with lightsabers. Yeah,
I would say.
So I don't know if you can say like.
Yeah.
If I had a kit and I said, hey, here's the deal. I want this kit decked out. What am I looking at? Like cost wise, maybe like one of the kits we looked at on that website, and then you add, crystal LED sound, the blade, all that stuff.
It's crazy. And here we're going back into the 3D printing world.
Sure.
And man, I wish this saber that's sitting to the left of me was done so that I could show you what it looks like. But let me grab one of these parts. All right. I don't know if my buddy Ron is watching, but your saber is going to be done tomorrow, Ron. So this is a 3D printed metal part from Shapeways. I don't know how familiar you are with how much stuff like this costs. It's not cheap, but they do 3D printed metal, and there's these things called master chassis. They're incredibly difficult installs. From what I know is typical parts for the master chassis, and this is just the parts for the chassis, cost, I would say pretty close to like $500 or $600, and that doesn't include the cost of the saber. And you can do this with any saber. There's a master chassis for my Graflex that I have, and last time I checked, the parts for it are like $2,000.
Jeez.
And this saber is insane. And I mean, we go back to the whole thing. If you go vintage, it's like investing in currency. You're making an investment. You really are, because it's legitimate, as long as it's non-invasive. My Graflex, I didn't damage the original Graflex to do this. I have some props that were damaged to make the prop, but the Graflex is a lucky one. It doesn't have to be sacrificed to create the prop if done correctly. But yeah, I mean, with a crystal chamber, but that's the thing. It's all different tiers, right? Because you could get a saber, you could get a Star Killer, you could get you could get some Luke sabers that have some pretty easy crystal chambers, and really it only tacks on for someone like me another $100 to $150 on the install cost. My install costs are somewhere between like $375 to $500.
Okay.
And you're looking at a top tier lightsaber.
Sure.
Out the door for probably under $1,000.
Oh, okay. So $1,000 or under, you could get a pretty dang good one.
And that's everything. That's everything. That's the hilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the blade.
What do you got for maybe a trade of a box of, I don't know, Fruity Pebbles, and a 3D printer?
Oh man.
No, I'm just joking.
Which 3D printer?
He
Yeah,
has
which
a
one?
piece of the he has a piece of the Dremel metal that he cut off like last night or something. He's like, here you go. No, that's super cool. I mean, it's such a cool thing that you kind of like niched down, especially into the lightsabers, because I mean everybody loves them. So it's funny, we had a couple fun comments. Yeah, basically it's the cost of your firstborn.
Yes.
My liver sucks, but and I need my kidney, so I guess I can't afford it. But I mean, what else? So you do a ton of stuff. So we talked about a lot of sabers. We talked about a little bit of the masks. What else do you do? Do you focus mostly on the sabers? Does that keep you busy, or do you do other?
I would say the sabers is probably half of my business or so.
Okay.
And I really started diversifying out of it because I like to work on new projects all the time. But you know, I mean, I'd say the masks. I don't do a lot of armor pieces for individuals. I typically try to stay away from helmets, but I've made a couple of full masks, face masks. You know, I just really kind of leave that stuff to the people who are in that industry. And I make a couple of things out of foam, just a handful of things. But that's about it. I do, you know, I would say the vintage work. I've done 3 vintage Graflexes or something like that, and
oh wow,
I have a couple of props here I can show off too. But
yeah, let's check them out.
Vintage. But you know, and they're not all lightsabers.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd say it's a nice combination of everything. I try to keep it very interesting for myself, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it sounds like you have a lot going on. So
Well, and when you get stuck, like, and I say stuck very loosely here, right? When you work on the same saber 100 times, like you want to jump into the new saber, or you want to jump into like you want to kind of, like you said, diversify. But what's cool is that, you know, you said it's about half your work, and that's pretty dang awesome. I imagine we can see a lot of cool stuff if we see any of the big, like I don't know, the cons maybe. I guess I'm trying to think of somewhere where someone would bring their actual expensive one too, and I don't know if I would to a con.
I like kind of want to ask you to bring that now to WonderCon, because like, I want to see this in person.
I'll have Star-Lord on it at WonderCon, so you can see.
Okay, I'm gonna find you then. I'm gonna hit up every Star-Lord and be like, I think I'm only doing Saturday though. I don't know what day you're doing.
I'm gonna be there only Saturday. Look at that.
There you go.
Twins.
There you go. She's gonna walk up and punch every Star-Lord just to see who it is, and then
I'm gonna be Scarlet Witch, I think. So
we have a couple minutes before I want to jump into some cool stuff that some other people have made too with the HotMakes. But what else? You said you had some stuff down below. What do you got there?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Jim's all invested right now.
Heck yeah! I said screw the HotMake. Let's just we'll just talk all day. Let us know in the chat what you think. Do you guys think this is awesome? Because honestly, I'm loving.
Should we have like a round 2 of this?
Yeah. I'm loving what you're doing.
I got a lot of stuff to show.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's like big kids show and tell. It's my favorite.
It really is.
So I'll show you guys something I finished earlier last year, right before a popular character Star Wars show came out. Now this is a vintage prop, but it's not 1977 Star Wars vintage. But I've got to take my hat off to the creators of The Mandalorian, because they went completely. They went back to the Star Wars roots, right?
Okay.
They kind of decided that they are going to start making things the way, or start doing the show, right? That's why Mandalorian looks so good,
right?
Because it looks like it did in the 1970s and 80s. So what I decided to build was, I've got this guy right here. This is the first blaster I actually ever made. I'm making another one, another vintage one, but this is Boba Fett's blaster, and so not something that you would have seen in the original trilogy. This blaster didn't show up anywhere, but this gun is this part right here that you're seeing is legitimately a World War II flare gun, a Navy World War II flare gun.
Wow.
So if you're a collector of the original part, I'm sorry to tell you, but I completely destroyed it. And then these pieces right here that you see on top in this this bolt and the grips the files were made on a resin printer. So
wow.
I created the additional pieces via resin and then tacked them on so that I have, and if you look at the Book of Boba Fett, it looks kind of like that's what they did too. I think that they just filled in the blanks with like very similar parts since I had more references. But something like this, I mean, like I said, back to using 3D printing to complete a prop that's based in, the base is a vintage gun. So that's one of my more recent projects. I've got a couple of other little, this is a vintage Yoda.
Nice.
And yes, this turns on. And yeah, I mean, I've got an Evan Peel, a little vintage Evan Peel, which is just a Jedi Master, but it was made out of these parts for the Attack of the Clones movie. So
that's super cool. That
a couple of things.
It's really cool that you know there's enough of a following where they're like, okay, where do we find the original? What were these made out of? Where do you find the originals? You know, and one of the things like I watch it tested a lot. I love Adam Savage. I love his stuff, and I absolutely love the stories he tells about when he did that kind of stuff, when he goes back to these places or he visits, or when he was doing this actively, you know, in his past, and he actually is like, well, actually I think we made that out of this, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see in the community the prop makers from the original Star Wars. Mark Hamill just did it recently. He tweeted out recently, I don't want to say recently, but within the last couple of years, he pretty much just told everybody what pants he was wearing out of the blue in A New Hope. He was like, yeah, they were 501 jeans. Like sometimes.
So, funny story. Funny story is I have a Twitter connection with him, and like I haven't talked to him in a very long time, but we used to have like a message thread going on, like what was real, what was fake.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest. He's like, he loves doing that. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So how many people, the one that you had, the classic, right? What did you call it again? I apologize.
It's called the Graflex.
The Graflex. How many people you think actually made or have one of those? I mean, it could be a bunch, but I mean, like, how many people do you think actually have like an original piece, you know, like that? And it could be their own making, like yours. I mean,
I would say it's at least a couple hundred. And there's different kinds, right? The Empire Strikes Back version is way harder to get. There's just more parts from different things, and it's very expensive. Darth Vader's lightsaber is, I mean, you got to take out a second mortgage to afford the empty. You know, last time I checked, they're like $6 or $7 empty because they're so rare. Yeah, and so
just the empties,
just to have the thing. Yeah, and that's before, you know, you still got to get the bubble strip, and you still got to get the grips, and you still got to install it if you want to install it. I mean, I would say, I mean, it is a massive community out there, and I mean, some people get lucky and find this stuff at antique stores, but there's people that look for it. They really are. And new parts get discovered all the time. Where people are like, I think I found the part, and it's the part. And then everyone
of course,
takes to eBay and cleans out.
Yeah. I was just going to say, then that part that no one's cared about for, you know, 30, 40 years is all of a sudden gone everywhere, right?
And
that rubber tubing.
Yep. Yep. And that's the same thing with like the Ghostbusters community. I'm finding out is the same exact way. You know, Ghostbusters is built just like Star Wars. Just trash. It's just trash. Put together.
Well, what the cool part about 3D printing is, and we're going to get to HotMakes in a second here, but the cool part about 3D printing is, you know, in Ghostbusters and any movies, car parts too, like stuff that you cannot find anywhere. If you could scan a part and start producing that part for a rare car, even if you've made 10 of them or 5 of them or something, you can make some really good money. I've seen dash pieces that you can't find. I've seen like total cool stuff that like you might have one of, or be able to get your hands on one of 5 in the world or something, and you scan it, and now you have that part for someone else who wants to rebuild. And
Massive. Yeah.
Next thing you know, there's 3,000 babies from Supernatural out there or something. But those, I love that car. I wanted to make that car for so long, and then everybody started making that car, and it's like everybody who lists the same car always puts Supernatural baby or something like that in it, and they're like,
wow.
Oh crap, he knows what he has. I guess I'm not gonna pay
like
that
the DeLorean.
much. Yeah,
like
kind of. Yeah. It's a Impala, I think. But it's funny because this certain car, if you search that car, if someone knows it's related to that show, they automatically call it out, and you can expect to pay more. You got to find one of those that they don't know what they have.
They don't know. Yeah.
But awesome. Well, I love the stuff. Let's hit some hot makes and see how much time we have after that. I got a little ambitious on them today, but I love what you're doing. Let us know in the chat. Throw Chris some love. Let us know what you think if you love what he's doing as well. Because I'm digging the lightsabers. A good friend of mine, the guy who got me into 3D printing in the beginning, has built a couple, I believe, and he built one specifically that I love. I just texted him. I was like, "You guys send me a picture. I want to, I want to put it on the stream quick.
I want to see it
because it's the first one I had seen that was hand built with the crystal and all the stuff inside of it. It's really cool." And he's a big laser guy, so he builds like the big. He buys the pieces and builds the big lasers too and stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into some hot makes. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's see if. Love it. I was keeping Geary on his toes. I was just like, let's see if he's pay attention. So I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, hot makes, and then the bumper goes, and I was seeing how fast he could hit that for us. I love it. I was totally expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting that 100%. He said my buddy said he sent it, and I don't see it. I don't see it on the Facebooks.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, he posted on my timeline. There we go. Here, let me pop this over. Actually, you know what? Let me not do that because it has his name in it.
That looked like a Graflex to me.
Yeah. Let me do this. I don't know if he cares or not, but next thing you know, he'll have like 700 people blowing him up, and there you go.
I want to know, is it vintage? It doesn't look like it is.
Steve, I know you're watching, so let me know if it's vintage, how you made this. I'm not sure.
The pins it looks too shiny.
a little shiny.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been a kit. He'll have to. I mean, but I know he when he first showed me this, I was just like, this is amazing. I need this. But I didn't realize until you just pointed this out. I never would have noticed that on there. So, anyways, okay. First hot makes of the night. we are way off track here. He says it's a replica. He just chatted me.
Okay, cool.
But it's still awesome. I love it.
Still awesome.
Angus over at Maker's Muse. He is playing with a fan. He's posted a couple pictures since here, but I cannot wait to see the video that comes out of this fan. If you checked out his post recently, that's what it looked like. So I am dying to see this video. He said his video is coming out this weekend. So yeah, I'm pumped. I got to check it out. Just from his hair here, it may have a lot of air blowing through that fan, but love it, Angus. What do we got next? From the Alliance, the first die I ever made, just a simple D6, and let's pop this bad boy out. There we go. I got to tell you, I really wanted to check out making some dice, making a die for dice. I don't know. I think some people make some awesome stuff, and this is pretty dang cool. It looks like it's from Warcraft. I'm terrible at this game, trying to pick out what they're from, but he does call out Warcraft in here, so. But nice work. Do you make dice at all? Have you made any?
Me?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Both of you.
Yeah, it's kind of a free for all. Just like have to pay attention. I have not. I kind of want to like try resin because I know resin dice are a thing that people really get into, which might be fun, but that's way down the road.
Yeah,
I thought
this
about
is
it.
Awesome.
I thought about it before, and I talked to a couple members of the communities, and I heard that they have very specific requirements on them, and so like
really,
it really does take like a master to make them. So like when I see someone make a die that's like that, you know, there's way more work than it looks to go into it to be proper.
I imagine a lot of it's like weighting as well, because when you have those designs on the sides, it can easily weight it.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
I like that idea. I mean, no, I wouldn't do that. Let's see. What do we got? Stephen John Lyons printed this from Pusha 3D. It's Poly Alchemy Elixir Onyx. I absolutely love the Onyx color, by the way. This looks like was on a Ender 3 V2. There we go.
Wow. It's clean.
A little bust. Great print.
I like how shiny it is.
Yeah. Oh, that elixir, that stuff is awesome. It's very, it actually might be the same color that I did Thomas's Viking from Wexter in. Very cool, man. Very cool. All right, what do we got next? I know we're short on time because I wanted to talk to you so much today. But that's okay. We're gonna rock it. If we go a couple minutes over, hopefully no one's upset about that. Caleb Elixir, I barely knew her. Funny guy. All right, what do we got next? Ethan's dad, Marcus, says Chris Perillo can finally calibrate his printer. Let's see. So we got looks like a calibration cube. All right, XYZ. What's on the other side? There it is. There it is.
I got a bad feeling about this.
That's awesome. I love it.
Wow.
So good. That's so good. Perfect. Nice work, Marcus. I love that. Speaking of Caleb, my coworker just told me if I crush up Oreos, add milk, and microwave it, it magically becomes chocolate cake.
I saw this like the same. I think that was the same day that we had the conversation about no milk, though.
I apologize. I need to end the stream early because I have to go buy Oreos right now. I am doing this. Bye. No. I have milk at home. You're gonna have to
buy milk though.
I'm not
You're
gonna
have to mix the two.
I am not opposed to having milk on my Oreos either. I just, if I'm in a hurry, water's faster.
This is dangerous information.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like Chris isn't aware of this, but like he dunks his cookies in water. Man,
no, I don't dunk them. There's no dunking. It's under the faucet quick to make them a little softer, and then I eat them when I'm in a hurry.
Use milk.
Thank you.
Here we go with the milk thing.
Get some milk.
Water is worse. I love it.
Gatorade next time.
Oh,
hey,
no.
A little high fructose corn syrup with my Oreos.
Boy.
No, God, please, no.
Oh man, I like milk on my Oreos and my cookies as well. I just, if I'm in a hurry and I want to eat 6 in a row real quick, and I don't want my fingers all like dipped in the milk, and
That's gross.
It's a Vegemite. Yes. All right, what do we got next? If you are old enough to know what Vegemite is out there, let us know in the chat. Yeah. It's a vegan option. I love it. It's got electrolytes. Oh my gosh. This is phenomenal. Joe over at Breaks and Makes made a piano, right? A grand piano, 500 screws, 6 meters of sound rods and 4 kilograms of filament. I watched a video on this yesterday. Phenomenal video. He basically lays out how he put it all together, and then he plays it at the end.
What?
And it did not make the sound I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting this thing to sound like when he was done, but watch the video all the way to the end, and you'll find out. That's all I'm gonna say. But this is awesome. You talk about prop making, like make a baby grand piano out of 4 kilograms of Brucement. I mean, that's a lot of freaking filament. Man. And it's out there. If you guys want this, I believe, I don't know if he put the link. I think the link's in his video, but I think it's on my mini factory. Where's the banana for scale? Watch the video and you can see his hand for scale, which is pretty awesome. Oh boy. What do we got next? Matt Stoltz. Actually, he's, I believe, just jumped in the chat with us a little bit ago. I would love to see more stuff made with aesthetic of quilling, but made these with vase mode 3D printing. I feel like this is something 3D Print Bunny and or Geeky Fate Art would totally get behind. These are, I'm digging these. Super cool.
Wow.
Love it. I don't know. I'm not artistic enough, I don't think,
It's
for
so
this.
colorful.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's the colors are awesome. He always has awesome colors, though.
This is true.
Look at that, though.
Wow.
Wow.
It is just.
It's not even just the colors, it's like the placement of the colors, you know?
Yeah.
Like that takes some thought to make it look like that.
Man, it is
Like
so good.
using yellow, orange, red, whatever is like one thing, but then spreading it out the way that it is there with that gradient.
Right, planning
It's
it.
like he's-
Oh man.
It's like he's painting with the color, like the
Yes.
filament.
Right.
Yeah.
I am. You know, in the new studio I'm in, I actually have more space. I am super pumped to get my Palette 3 Pro out and running. That does 8 colors. And I'm just, all I can think of is like, yeah, I got to go through all the process of getting calibrated, get it running, get it on a machine that's trustworthy. But then, like, after all of that, I have to pick colors that go together to make something cool. And I don't do that. So so it might be, or yeah, like here's just a bunch of, you know what? I think the first thing I do, I'm going to load in like just a whole ton of sample rolls that I have. Like here's like, just throw in all these sample rolls and let them feed and see what happens. What's the link to the video for the piano? That you can find that on Breaks and Makes on YouTube. Otherwise, I'll have Gary. Gary, can you grab that link and throw it in chat for anyone who wants to chat to check that out? All right, thank you. Big Jano is next. Another awesome creation. This is a wall-mounted nozzle project. Is finally done. He took the leftover adjustable LEDs from the Jano leaves, which were also awesome, and made the nozzle addressable. So this is a 3D print. You know, basically a 3D printed. There you go. Nozzle with the colored filament with the addressable LEDs is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, neopixels.
Yeah.
And I think I was in his stream and he was putting this together too. Or like when it was
So
working or something, and it was really incredible to see.
So Jano, I don't know if you're watching right now. What I would like to see, and I think this is amazing. This is awesome. What I would like to see is you run the cable behind the nozzle down around the back of the back of the squiggle and out the very bottom. So it would clean it up like 100%. It would look amazing. He says he's here. Yeah. Like I could just, if you could, I don't know if it's even possible, like to hide the other stuff. Maybe you can hollow out the back of the nozzle there and then run the cable up along the filament light. And then it'll be like super clean. But cable management, work in progress. Oh, gotta love that, dude. It looks so good.
It's
looks
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, I love that you can pretty much address them any way you want to. Nice work. If you haven't checked out Big Jano on the Twitches, go check him out over there. I know a lot of people are watching right now on Twitch, so hit him up over there. All right, what do we got? Naomi retweets. Oh, dude, I tell you what, Ellie Weinstein. I finished my fully 3D printed marble run. It's now 5 feet tall, motorized, and full rainbow. We're going full mode on this. Check this out. Whoop.
Fire.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is let us know in the chat if this is awesome. I think I would build this, put like I don't know, plexiglass around it and throw it in my house so my 2-year-old or almost 2-year-old can't get to it. But just let it watch. I could watch this all day. And he would probably absolutely love it. Man, that's
I love
awesome.
these little contraptions because, like, I get notification, not like notification, but like suggested videos of things like these all the time on Facebook for some weird reason. Probably just because of the 3D printing, but I'm like always like focused because I want to know what the end result is. Now I'll watch these forever.
I love it. It is super cool. I think this is actually, I believe, a customizer. I can't remember. I think it might be called like Marble Customizer or something like that. I got to look it up, but we'll find it and I'll get it out there because this is such a cool thing. You can actually drop it and like customize your own setup, all, you know, make it everything you want. It's super cool. Wow. But this is an awesome project. A ton of time went into this and I could watch that all day. You need one for your shop. You can just watch it while you're doing your sabers, you know?
Yeah. Right back there.
Steven Lightspeed, Fractal Vase by Clockspring in Filament Matte Filament. 10% off with his link there if you check out his tweeters. This was done on, let's see, the Rat Rig Core 500. You know what's funny? This filament is super good. I love Filament's matte filament. That's super hard to say, too. It never looks quite as matte as it is in real life when you take pictures of it, though. It is like, I have about 6 rolls of it, and it is awesome when it comes out.
Yeah. It looks
a nice red, too.
I kind of want to try it.
And it's a fractal vase. Anything Clockspring does is fire. I mean, he just released some new stuff today. I think today or last night.
That's what Britt's saying right here.
It's not the brand new Clockspring STL. He released a couple today. Absolutely correct there, Sith Lord Britt. All right, what else do we got here? A bit older, but I think it can still use some good HotMakes talking about it. Let's see. This is all types of cool plotters using pens, paint, brushes, charcoals, crayons, fire extinguishers. I need to check this person out because it looks awesome. But check. Oh, I can't expand. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. Check this out. This is a plotter using a paint. I'm guessing that's paint.
Is that painting a car?
Yeah, it's like a van.
I mean, there's a lot of splatter going on, but like,
yeah. I don't know, but this is pretty dang cool. I don't know why. It's intriguing. It's fun. It's different. I'm curious what you could all plot with this paint sprayer. I mean,
I'm assuming if you like taped off the car, then this would come off a lot cleaner. But
well, the tires are covered. Come on.
That's a really good point. Like, why are only the tires? I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Whoa, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, that messes with my eyes.
I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, isometric ribbon tool processing. It looks like this person has some really cool stuff on here. I'm gonna have to check it out. But nice work there. I don't even anti-goon. I'm gonna go with anti-goon. I don't know.
It's very modern arty.
Yeah, very cool. All right, and last but not least, Vicky, brainstorming hands-on activities for my town's Little Peeps event and experimenting with combining stringing art with 3D printing at the same time. Nice. I love it. This is how 3D Print Bunny does her a lot of her prints. It uses stringing for all sorts of stuff, you know, to hold everything up. And man, cool idea.
It's cool.
I love seeing how much of this stuff like makes it to us after I see it like previously in the week. Like because I see you guys working on this stuff and I'm like, I love it, and then they're on here and I'm like, I get to do this a second time.
Well, and a lot of people, including myself, are I don't see everything all the time until we do show it on the show. So that's that's why I love being here. And I know in the chat, again, let us know what you think. Hopefully you're digging all the cool hot makes tonight. All those can be found in the document below. If you click on that, find episode 95, you'll find all the links we showed tonight and more that I didn't get to show too. But yeah, I know we're a little late. It was 7:07 my time. But I tell you what, one more time before you go, Chris, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? The stage is yours. Let everybody kind of know one more time.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, I'm Chris with sinisterpropz. You can see what I'm up to. I'm always working on something new over on my Instagram. Just sinisterpropz right there. You also check out, I have an Etsy store at you just sinisterpropz, or you can go straight to my website, sinisterpropz.com. There we go. And I'm local here in San Diego. I'm gonna be at WonderCon. I'm gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to be at Star Wars Celebration, and I'll have my lightsaber with me. So dressed as Luke Skywalker. So come find me if you want to see some really cool vintage stuff. I'll be wandering around. But yeah,
nice. Well,
thanks for having me on, guys.
Now I feel like I need to come out there just because.
I'm excited. I'm so excited that I'm going to be there for some of those. So
yeah,
that's fun. And I apparently will see you soon, I guess.
There you go.
Yep, I'll be Star-Lord, so we got to get a picture together.
Oh, definitely.
That'd be awesome.
We'll be in the same theme.
Just a heads up, Matt B says, it's my birthday today. Did you see my HotMakes tweet from this afternoon? I don't think I did. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Let me jump on the Twitters. But happy birthday.
Yes. It's a lot of birthdays recently in our community.
What do you go by on Twitter, Matt B?
We don't want to miss you.
But happy birthday. Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm super pumped, man. I appreciate you showing us everything. I am I was just quickly chatting with Steve and the guy who made the replica one, and now I think I need one. It'll be fun to at least chill in the back next to some other fun props and actually make it myself, so maybe it feels like I did something.
Yeah, make the chassis, 3D print the chassis.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Let's see. There you go. At Matt. Oh boy. Give me a second. I'm gonna look this up because it's your birthday. If I could spell your name correctly, that would be even better. B-I-E. There you go. There's my problem.
This is just like a very
yeah.
This is show.
We've hijacked the show.
I don't think anybody really minds, though. This is going great. You guys are fun.
Yeah,
in the comments.
this is super fun.
I'm trying to keep track of comments from. We got our StreamYard stuff. We have the YouTube comments coming in. I see all of you guys still hanging out on Twitch. This is great.
Oh, I see.
I have
I see what you posted.
I don't see a post that has HotMakes tagged in it.
I see it. But I tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make everybody wait. We're gonna show it next week. First one we show next week.
There you go.
And I saw
that
it.
Way we'll give it full attention.
I'll give you a hint. If you find his profile, it may be a bust or something. I'm just gonna throw it out there, and I don't know. We're just gonna find out. But I tell you what, happy birthday! Also, everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Wow, there's a microphone right there.
And,
thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Every Monday, right here, 6 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. Shannon time, and then what is it, 4 p.m. for you, or is it
4 for me?
Time.
Yeah, 4. Yep. I didn't know if the whole daylight savings thing happened where you are, because sometimes it does. Yeah, like Arizona, they don't do anything about it.
Yeah, they don't.
But that's awesome. Well, again, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate it. Matt, Chris, I almost said Matt. Thank you so much for showing us all your cool stuff, because now I got to go spend money. For $1,000, I could have a pretty sick lightsaber, according to Chris.
It would be sick. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, thanks to Shannon and Geary and everybody for finding you. Also, someone pointed out Happy Pie Day, so don't forget that. I did have my pie at lunch, but I better go get another one because it's an excuse to have pie. I'll milk with it though. Don't worry. Thanks everybody. Have a great night. We will see you next week. We have another guest next week.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Who's our guest next week?
Jen Markham, who's also another cosplayer, but she is huge on TikTok. If you guys are on TikTok, very much so in the Star Wars community as well as Marvel, so it'll be good.
Ooh,
and then also anybody hanging out on Twitch, we're gonna go ahead and raid Loyal as well, just so you guys are aware.
Nice. raid Loyal, he'll love that. Thank you everybody. You guys have a great night. Chris, stay right there. We'll be right back with you. But everybody else, we'll see you next week right here on HotMakes. Don't forget, hashtag HotMakes in the Twitters and post or tag everything you find. Later, everybody. Have a good night. See you later.